Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this week's church service. And Jack and Ina, thank you for another privilege from you that I can bring the financial teaching today. I'm excited. I'm always excited, but I think the Lord just speaks to us in different ways. And today, I'm not going to tell you now what is the title of my message, because it's in the next few verses. So yeah, let's see if we can guess it. The word comes from Philippians 1, a letter of Paul to the Philippians, and I'm going to just read from verse 3 to 5. I thank my God in all my remembrance of you, always in every prayer of mine, and I'm reading, by the way, from the ESV, for you all making my prayer with joy, because of your partnership in the gospel from the first day until now. I think by now you know I want to talk about partnership, but I want to read the same out of the Amplified Classic. It's just another way that Paul is telling us, giving it here for us. Philippians 1 from verse 3 to 5. I thank my God with all my remembrance of you. In every prayer of mine, I always make my entreaty and petition for you with all joy, delight. I thank my God for your fellowship. Here Paul uses another word, fellowship. And this is the classic here. As your sympathetic cooperation, contribution, and partnership. And yet comes in advancing the good news, the gospel from the first day until now. So this is a partnership is advancing the gospel. Paul is talking about partnership here. And when a ministry, Paul couldn't do it himself. Yes, it might have been slower, but when there's partnership, and specific in this area, the partnership is referring to is money, is financial. There's financial help for him, from the people from the Philippians. So partnership is advancing the gospel. The dictionary definition of partnership says is working together for a common goal. It's people working together for a common goal. And then, as we saw here in fellowship, the word fellowship, and this is just my own definition, is two fellows in a ship, rowing in the same direction, advancing the ship in a forward motion. If two fellows just row differently, they're not in partnership, because then the ship can just doing that. So Paul is referring to partnership, and that is my message today. I want to take some time and explain partnership for you. In Philippians 4 verse 3, he uses a very specific word, which was actually for me also a new word. He uses a yoke fellow. So he's calling his people, the people who's partnered with him, yoke fellows. And that's actually faithful partners. I mean, in the time they yoke oxes together to get extra strength of it from them. So a yoke fellow is another person in partnership with them that is yoking together to move this, advancing the gospel to a new level. Then I want to read also from Philippians 4 verse 19. And this is a very familiar, I think everybody knows it already by heart, because when the things getting tough, we as Christians, we can quote this verse, my God shall supply all my needs according to his strength. And we know it. But yes, that's a promise, and this promise is true. But I want to take you, for this promise to manifest, I want to take us back to verse 15. And I want to start reading from verse 15. And you Philippians yourself well know that in every early days of the gospel ministry, in the ESV, talking about partnership again. When I left Macedonia, no church assembly entered into partnership with me and opened up a debit and a credit account in giving and receiving except you only. There's something about this. For even in Thessalonica, you sent me contributions for my needs, not only once, but a second time. Not that I seek or I'm eager for your gift, but I do seek and I'm eager for the fruit which increases to your credit, the harvest of blessing that is accumulating on your account. This is big. But I have your full payment and more. I have everything I need, and I'm amply supplied. Now that I have received from Epaphroditus the gifts you send me, they are the fragrant odor of an offering and sacrifice which God welcomes and in which He delights. And then verse 9 says, and my God will liberally supply. Before God supplies, there's a sowing from our side, a giving, entering into a partnership with people. Godly giving is a giving with a proper motive. And I just want to quickly read a proper motive here from 1 Corinthians 13 verses 3. Even if I dole out all that I have to the poor in providing food, and if I surrender my body to be burnt, or in order that I might glory, but have not love, the God kind of love in me, it gained nothing. It's nothing. So when we partner and it's not from a pure motive, it gains us nothing. He said we're useless. We become useless. Godly giving produces fruit in us. A spiritual account, as we've seen here, why Paul is so excited. He said, whenever we give, a spiritual account is opened on our behalf. God in heaven opens an account, a spiritual account. He sees everything we give, and there's an account giving. So giving is not just, shouldn't be seen as something leaving my bank account, but it should be seen as a deposit making. We deposit into a spiritual account, and glory unto God for that. There's in Proverbs 19 verses 17, and it's from the YLT, the Young's Literal Translation, and this is for me also. He said, whoso is lending to Jehovah, and this word lending is not the word that we see we lending to God, it's giving, and to Jehovah is the work of God. Whoso is lending to Jehovah is favoring the poor, and his deeds he repayeth to him. That he is God. So who's lending to God is favoring the poor, and God will repay back to the lender, if I can say it like that. So advancing the gospel is favoring the poor. And now the poor, when we're looking at the poor, it's not just people who don't have money. People whose poor is lacking. They lack knowledge. They lack to know the truth. And this ministry stands on the word of the truth. So when we cooperate, we partnership with this ministry, we're advancing the gospel to spread the truth to people who's poor in knowledge, poor in knowing the truth. Because there's a huge thing nowadays. If you don't know the truth, everything can sound like truth. If you don't know the roar of a lion, the meow of a cat can sound like a roar of a lion. If you don't know a lion at all. So it's very important that we partnership with a ministry to advance the gospel. And to advance gospels, the partnership requires financial input, where we sow into something. We sow into this ministry. I want to read from Proverbs 22:9 also quickly. There's another beautiful verse here. And he said, he who has a bountiful eye shall be blessed, for he gives of his bread to the poor. Now, a bountiful eye is a heart and a mind that is inclined toward generosity, compassion, and this is the other one, having a willingness to help. It's not just my bountiful eye. There's a willingness. When we partnership, there's a willingness. Isaiah 1:19 says, I'm willing and obedient. When I'm willing and obedient, I shall eat of the good of the land. So there's a willingness. We don't just sow with the wrong motive, because the word says, and this is in Proverbs 10, verses 24, there are those who generously scatter abroad and yet increase more. There are those who withhold more than is fitting, or what is justly due, but the results only in want. They always want. So if the motive is wrong, or we don't fully sow. Because nowadays the church, there's like a manipulation for us to partnership, or the people on the pulpit will manipulate people to say that is the reason why you need to sow. So people sow out of obligation. They don't spread the truth that when we sow, when we enter in partnership, there's a blessing that's coming back to us. And when the blessing comes back, if you do it wrongly, you will always be in want. I want this and I want that, because our heart is wrong. Prosperity is, okay, before that, but Psalm 35 is the last word, verses 27. He said, let the Lord be magnified, who takes pleasure in the prosperity of the servant. He takes pleasure in the prosperity of the servant. So this to me is two-way. A poor servant, when the gospel is advanced at the poor servant, they become enriched. So they are not, they start to prosper. And God takes, he said, I've got pleasure in the prosperity of them. And also, and the people who's giving are already in prosperity. So he takes pleasure in that also. So God takes pleasure in the prosperous to sow, to get the poor enriched so they can also become prosperous. And prosperity is defined by how much we give away, not by how much we keep. Giving is a means of serving others. It's not, because if you sit down, you become fat. A fat cat, and that's not what we want. Prosperity is to bless and not to possess. So if God lays it in your heart, let us partnership with this ministry of Jacques and Ina, because this ministry is built on the truth of God, and we want to advance this gospel by sowing into, by partnering with them, in becoming partners with them. So we can move forward, because there's a blessing, not just for each one who gives, but also for this ministry, because there's a lot of people out there they don't know the truth anymore. They're poor in truth. So let us take hands and let's start joining this in this ministry with a partnership. Thank you.